put them in outer space.
Welcome
Nice.
to Switch to Linux. I forgot to, I unmuted them a little earlier. Yes, the kitty is in outer space. See, the kitty is heading home. He was up there on the Orion rocket, and he's just leading the charge. He's going to scramble right on in before it goes onto the Earth's atmosphere and things like that. But I was abducted by aliens today, just so you guys know. You know, or my phone got caught up on time zone differences because I'm kind of right on the border between Pacific Coast and Mountain Time Zone. And I got up usual time, 7-ish, read for half hour. I'm like, I'm getting up early. I'm going out, take my walk. I come back. I'm like, man, I am just on the ball. Should get back here, start cooking dinner around 9. It's 10 o'clock. I'm like, what the world? Well, I think that my phone rang me at 7 Pacific and then switched back over to Mountain Time, and I'm kind of putting myself on Mountain Time right now. So somehow I lost an hour, and I don't know where or how I lost that hour, but I'm pretty sure I was just abducted by the aliens. Moonbase, was that you? Moonbase, when you abduct me, you're not supposed to use the memory eraser. Come on, I don't remember all the fun things we did.
Well, now you have to put your beard on Mountain Time.
I will. I might have to. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to keep the stream a little short today because it is winter time and it is cloudy today. And so our power is dropping. In fact, I'm actually surprised. We actually did draw in the same amount of power today as yesterday. That's the good news. Despite it was cloudy most today. The bad news is that amount of power is only 900 watts. I need a little bit more than 900 watts. The saving grace is I've moved to a place where I don't need to run my heater at night because it's not getting super cold here. And so I save a little bit of power and diesel fuel running the heater. So I don't have to run my heater anymore. But I am effectively on low power mode. So we're going to try and wrap this up pretty shortly. So real quick, how's everybody doing? How you doing, Dan?
Oh, fine. You need to get one of those bicycle generators to replace your desk chair with. So you can charge up your batteries while you're on the stream.
I could. That'd be fun. Get some exercise in there too. Be there. So, and thanks for switching to Linux. That would be great. I could accomplish that and never mind. How's it going, Ivan?
Not too bad. Got myself a tanker here full of nice apple cider. So cool. Everything's going good up here in New Hampshire.
I'm actually only on my second cup of coffee today. Apparently being abducted by the aliens in tinfoil hats made me drink my coffee slower for some reason. I don't know. Sabu, how's it going your way?
I'm doing fine. I'm occupying Dr. McKay's lab. He's stuck on the planet with all the children again.
Oh, okay. Is that Joe Biden stuck on the planet? You see that creepy Joe Biden picture? From over the holidays where I guess there was a family with 2 little girls that, you know, saw him and they knock on the window. He comes over and he's in the picture with the 2 little girls with Joe Biden and he's outside the window looking in and it looks super creepy. My cousin texts back and says, today on To Catch a Predator. Oh boy. We have 10 watching over on YouTube. We have 17 over on Odyssey. You ought to see it over there. We have 7 also on Rumble. Greetings over there on Rumble. And we have 1 over there. Salbu is, I guess, the only one over there. Unless that's Die Master holding it down over there on Twitch. And 1 over on DLive. Hello. And Roger Ramjet just followed. Greetings, Roger Ramjet. We do have a subscriber only live chat going on Locals. We really need to get that Locals community up so that we can actually get some lively fun stuff going on over there. I'm going to try and post some stuff this week over there exclusive because I want some feedback on some of my projects. So I've been working on getting, of course, the website, which is very close to, I might be about ready to be able to launch it soon. I think I need to work on 1 or 2 more little things and then I'll get that launched with minimal content and then we'll slowly build it up. I might look to see if anybody wants to volunteer to do some writing on either software, distros, desktop environments, or other fun topics. But I have a bunch of sticky notes here for tinfoil hat time episodes I would love to do. So I might throw those in there and see which one we should focus on first, and talk a little bit about the format over there. And I think that's something we will do on Locals. I might throw that also as well on the Patreon and Subscribe Star as well. I just don't have as good of a way to interact. Locals is really good with being able to interact with your audience. So we're going to put some of that over there. Jeffrey, greetings within the bill. Some EOTR truckers will lose more than we will. Nice going. Oh, over the road truckers like Connecticut and New York. You guys just need to banish, just stop going there. New York was fining people like hundreds of dollars for driving in the state of New York because a blizzard showed up. Well, what happens when you're in the middle of New York? You're going to find somebody because he happens to be stuck in your state? And then we made millions. And then Connecticut just rolled one out. I think it goes into effect January 1, where there will be a surplus of 2 to 17 cents per mile that a trucker drives through the state of Connecticut. They're like, we're going to raise $900 million. Yeah, you're going to cause everybody's prices to go up across the board. You guys need to defend those truckers and get there and tell your state, what are you guys thinking? Because you're just going to jack up the price of everything. So
the truckers will just refuse to deliver to them areas.
Oh, I've been following some of the trucker forums. I've been leaving comments. Like, guys, just don't deliver anything in either of those two states. Give it 3 days, and then they're going to be begging you to come back. And be like, oh, well, okay, we'll come back. You need to do away with all this nonsense. Let's see. Dakota Rustler, greetings. How's it going there? Solus got updated to the 6X Linux kernels. Very cool. I need to check out Solus sometime soon. Again, I haven't seen it for a while. Fixed some of my Bluetooth issues. Excuse me. Apparently I'm going to fall over and die here. But still won't see some USB Wi-Fi cards or temp sensors. Okay. Moonbase. Greetings, Moonbase. Sending Kitty Moon again. Yeah. No, we're the Kitty's lost in space. Yeah, I should have put him on Jupiter too, shouldn't I? How was the newer TV series of Lost in Space? Was it horrible or was it okay? Let me know, particularly if you've seen or liked the older ones. The
one on Netflix?
I guess it was on Netflix, yeah.
Yes,
it was pretty good.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I liked it too.
It worked for
was
my
family safe.
It was it? Oh, that's good. 2 a.m. in South Africa. Well, thanks for joining us, South Africa. I've been preaching against Chinese social credit scores. Absolutely. Well, we're going to cover a new article from a site that's more leftist than The Wired. I second the battery bike. All right. Get one of those river turbines, generate power whenever you're in the van down by the river. Now, unfortunately, there's very few times I've actually been down by the river. I was at a spot in Montana that was close to a river. There's a spot in Pennsylvania and State College I can go that's kind of by a stream, not a river, but I don't get a good internet there, so I don't go there a lot. But yeah, I mean, I would need to, the better thing would be the windmill because I'm in deserts more. In fact, I'm in a desert right now that the bugs are so big, they qualify as roadkill. Apparently there are wild tarantulas where I'm at. There are 2 crushed tarantulas on the road over here. So I got to look around, see if I can find a live tarantula. That'd be fun.
Yeah, watch out for tires popping.
Well, Soylent Green, the old man uses his bike in the apartment scene. Yes, there you go. He does. Soylent Green also has some other things. In Canada, of course, they're talking about selling the death and stuff. They're literally using the it's called MAIDS, which is self-assisted suicide, even for young people with simple depression and things like that. And so many companies are now getting on board with that. Nobody's bringing up the connection between that and Soylent Green, because literally the company that did the promo video of it literally reminds me of this place, the time when Saul in that movie is going in there and going through his self-extermination protocol. It's all these beautiful scenes and scenery and awesome thing, and then he dies. That's exactly how they are doing it in Canada right now. You guys see this stuff? Holy crap. Cat running on wheels. I could hook up some kitty chargers. That'd be fun. The sheep here want social credit system. Yeah. 3 days. Hello, our dispatchers take 2 weeks to change their minds on anything. Yeah. Aunt lived in Connecticut for a few decades till the 90s. Was glad she left it. Yeah. More left than The Wired, other than The View. Is that possible? This might be more left than The View. I don't know. You guys will have to tell me. Let's see, over there on Odyssey. Do we only have 3 people commenting? 4 comments on Odyssey? Is that it? Okay. Maybe we do. Moonbase is over here as well. Buried Unkind. Hello there. Commodore fan. Greetings. I'm waiting to see if I get offered Maid for my depression. Ooh, are you up there in the Great White North? I'm next to Minnesota. Have a mosquito shot glass. So yeah, a lot of mosquitoes up there. All right. Let's go ahead and get on into this. So we are at 12.7 volts, and if we hit like 12.5, we got to shut everything down. So we're going to go ahead and get on over to our article today. This is from MIT Technology Reviewed. Yes, they are crazier, more left than is The Wired, and probably more left than The View. MIT Technology Review does show up in my news feed. I look for things, although a lot of their stuff is paywalled, so I don't read a lot of their stuff. But man, these guys sell like find the most crazy, unhinged thing, and these guys are promoting it like it's absolutely common sense. Everyone should like this. These people are insane. And this is MIT. This is, if you need any other evidence that you should not send your children to college, MIT is just, leading the pack, which is kind of sad because in my day, MIT was a great, respectable institution, but not much anymore. So in their article, yeah, go ahead, Dan.
They shouldn't even be writing stuff like this. I mean, they're a technology institute, not a political institute.
Well, apparently the political people has done in there. And I'm noticing that the author here appears to be Chinese. So I'm wondering if this person's not writing some pro-China piece, either A, out of coercion for the CCP, or B, to keep people sympathetic to the CCP. I'm not quite sure, but I'm not sure you're going to convince me that Zhang Yang is not a Chinese author. China has just announced a new social credit law. Here's what it means. Subtitle: The West has largely gotten China's social credit system wrong, but draft legislation introduced in November offers a more accurate picture of reality. Anybody want to jump in before we head on into the article here?
They might be full of it.
There you go. Okay,
yeah, they might be full of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Full of it indeed. All right. So let's dig into this. It's easier to talk about what China's social credit score isn't than what it is. Ever since 2014, when China announced a 6-year plan to build a system to reward actions that build trust in society, to penalize the opposite, it has been one of the most misunderstood things about China in Western discourse. Now, with new documents released in mid-November, there's an opportunity to correct the record. Which, by the way,
the correction is it's worse than everyone thought. That's what I'm thinking, and but I haven't read the article yet.
Yeah, so like a lot of these articles, if you read just the first little bit of it, you're like, oh, wow, see, this isn't so bad. And then most people stop. Well, if you actually get near the bottom of the article and you're still reading it, it actually gets in and says, it is kind of being used as a carrot and a stick. Like, that's one of my favorite quotes. See, I mean, it's not that bad. It's just used as a carrot and a stick. We're going to reward you or we're going to discipline you based on what you do. No, that's exactly as dystopian as all of us have been suggesting it is.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair.
And the problem with such a system is who is deciding what good and bad behavior is, and because they are incentivizing users, the population to behave in a certain way, yep. or not behave in a certain way.
Absolutely. And so. Let's go ahead and dig in a little bit further. Most people outside the words social credit score system conjure up an instant image of Black Mirror-esque web technologies that automatically score all Chinese citizens according to what they did right and wrong. But the reality is that terrifying system doesn't exist, and the central government doesn't seem to have an appetite to build it either. See, there's your first little piece of misinformation. Yes, MIT Technology Review is engaged in misinformation. Remember that. The central government doesn't seem much of an appetite to build it. Okay, great. Awesome. Very good. See, we're all blowing it way out of proportion here. There's no appetite to build such a dystopian thing as this. What are y'all talking about? Instead, the system that the central government has been slowly working on is a mix of attempts to regulate financial industry, enable government agencies to share data with each other, and promote state-sanctioned moral values. However, the vague last
sanctioned the moral values. There's the problem.
However, the vague last goal in particular sounds. There's no evidence yet that this system has been abused for widespread social control. I'm going to call BS because we already have had documentation of people who have lost positions of authority. They've lost jobs for things like, expectorating on the public sidewalk as a United States law. That would, eating on a train. Oh, how bad you eat on a train. Of course. Never mind. I was going to say
it could be that the evidence that he's looking at is not found because they are hiding it from him.
Correct. Yeah. Because remember, this does appear to be a Chinese sympathetic or a member of the CCP. While local governments have been more ambitious with their who would have concern about this? Local governments have been more ambitious with their innovative regulations, causing more controversies and public pushback. The countrywide social credit system will still take a long time to materialize. And China is now closer than ever to defining what the system looks like. So several authorities released this, and I want to get down a little bit more. Or did I miss the one part I was going to say? Because they had, or did they change it a little bit? Because one of the lines in here that I very distinctly remember reading a few times is they had plans to do all this and by 2020, but it's 2023 and they're just getting ready. Yeah, it's down here. Well, I guess we'll get to that in a bit. We'll get to that in a bit. Because we'll comment. I want to have some specific commentary on that. Nothing really happened between 2019 and 2022, which would stop China from, working on this. Something else might have moved to the forefront, like, got to weld everybody into their apartments so they burn to death. And, the eugenists will be very happy.
I did see something about that.
The good thing about locking everyone inside their apartment is that the government can finally get to work without the prying eyes looking at what they're doing.
Correct. There you go. So on November 14th, several top government agencies collectively released a draft law on the establishment of the social credit system. I thought they weren't making a social credit system. First attempt to systematically codify past experiments on social credit and theoretically guide future implementation. Yet the draft law still left observers with more questions than answers. The draft doesn't reflect a major sea change at all, says Jeremy Dumm, a series of fellow at Yale Law School, Palatisa Chinese Center, who has been tracking China's social credit experiment for years. It's not a meaningful shift in strategy or objective, he says. Rather, the law stays close to local rules that Chinese cities like Shanghai have released and enforced in recent years, things like data collection and punishment methods, just giving them a stamp of central approval. Okay, so Shanghai has a stamp of central approval. They're just not doing it directly. I haven't seen so much double speak since I saw Jean-Pierre speaking. It also doesn't answer lingering questions that scholars have about the limitations of local rules. This is largely incorporating what has been out there to the point where it doesn't really add a whole lot to the value. So what does it actually look like? Okay, so first of all, what is a social credit? When the Chinese government talks about social credit, the term covers two different things: traditional financial creditworthiness and social creditworthiness. Okay, so we are now separating this into two principles. A financial, which is much like what we have when we talk about a credit score here, and then the social creditworthiness draws from a larger variety of sectors. I thought, though, it's completely wrong. Now, this is everything we've been talking about ever since, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So the former is a familiar concept in the West. It's documents individuals or businesses' financial history predicts. Okay, the top one, this whole paragraph is just what we already have. The social creditworthiness is what raises more eyebrows. Basically, the Chinese government is saying there needs to be a higher level of trust in society, and to nurture that trust, the government is fighting corruption.
Yeah.
Telecom scams, tax evasion, false advertising, academic plagiarism, product counterfeiting, pollution, almost everything. And not only will individuals and companies be held accountable, but legal institutions and government agencies will as well. This is where things start to get confusing. The government seems to believe all these problems are loosely tied to a lack of trust, that building trust requires a one-size-fits-all solution. Just so financial credit scoring helps assess a person's creditworthiness, it seems like some form of social credit can help. And so where they're going to move on this is the local governments are generally collecting more stuff. The national level, the country seems to want to keep the two mostly separate. In fact, the new draft law addresses them as two separate sets of rules. Any commentary on there before we jump down further?
So it seems like he's talking about two things. That the government is not collecting too much yet. It seems to be what he's saying, but the local authorities are. And that, let's say for the sake of the argument that this is what they're doing, it actually makes sense to delegate to the local authorities to do the dirty work, and important subjects who need to be looked at can be elevated to the national level and be dealt with as they see fit. That is still a dystopian system. Just because you delegate responsibility does not mean you're not a dictator at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also this is China and the CCP, so yeah, the local government has the information, but the local government's going to share it with the with the central government. We have federal, they have central government as needed, and so it doesn't make any difference. And in a country that is a lot more regulated about where you can go, it makes sense that the local government is who stores the bulk of the data. Yeah. Only, of course, passing it along with you when you are allowed to leave your particular areas. So the government has built a system that actively regulate. Has the government built a system that is actively regulating these two? The shorter answer is no. Initially, back in 2014, the plan was to have a national system tracking all social credit ready by 2020. I wonder what happened in the meantime. Now it's almost 2023 and the long anticipated legal framework for the system is just released. Yeah, that is because of what China did to the world, I think. I mean, other pressing issues came up. They had to take the Gestapo off of writing documents and planting cameras into weld people into their houses and whatnot instead.
It seems like they are doing. I think they are doing the same as what the U.S. government did a few years ago. I don't remember what it was before COVID. It was something about collecting data from everyone, and rather than stopping the collection, they passed a law illegalizing what they were already doing. So the China might be, that's a good idea. We can do that.
Yeah. It's like the things like Edward Snowden had released on was, all that type of stuff. Yeah, for sure. So here's where it starts to get a little hazy, and where this is where the warning to the West comes into play. Again, this paragraph is just kind of discussing the financial portion is just like the American credit score system. I think it's foolhardy in and of itself. We need to go back to a better model of evaluation rather than a simple pass-fail credit score, but we'll let that be what it is. On the social side, regulations have been patchy and vague. To date, the national government has built only a system focused on companies, not individuals, which aggravates data on corporate regulation and compliance from different government agencies. The head of tech policy research at Beijing-based consultancy Trivem China has described it in a report for U.S. government's U.S.-China Economic and Security Review Commission, a roughly equivalent to the IRS, FBI, EPA, USDA, FDA, HHS, HUD, and Department of Energy, Department of Education, and every courthouse. Police station, what could go wrong? Yeah, can we imagine, like, American IRS and FBI is bad enough. Can you imagine a Chinese IRS FBI?
It will be nuts.
Do they have debtor's prison over there in China? I mean, we don't, but do they over there? Could you actually
I
find
will-
yourself in jail for not paying money back? I don't know. Let me know in the comments.
We'll find
I
out
wouldn't be
with
surprised.
Sam Bakeman-Fried.
Yeah, pretty much. There is some data on people and other types of organizations there too. The same website also serves a central portal for over 3 dozen, sometimes very specific databases, including lists of individuals who have defaulted on court judgment, Chinese universities that are legitimate, companies that are approved to build robots, and hospitals found to conduct insurance fraud. Nevertheless, the curation system is so random, it's hard to see how people could ever use the portal as a consistent or comprehensive source of data. And this is where the problem lies. Number one is they're focusing on the government central ideas. What do we know about all of these government central ideas here in the United States is that they are involved in collecting individual data and using it individually. This in and of itself is a big problem. The third-party doctrine, basically. The second principle that I see here is that the people aren't the ones making the decisions. They're passing the decision-making process to the computers. And this is what we are looking at doing as well. We're trying to pass more and more information on computers, but we're also relying more and more on individual companies to do this. So how will a social credit system affect Chinese people's everyday lives? The idea is to be both a carrot and a stick. That's exciting. So an individual or company with good credit in all regulatory areas should receive preferential treatment when dealing with the government, like being put on a priority list for subsidies. At the same time, individuals or companies with bad credit records will be punished by having their information publicly displayed, and they will be banned from participating in government procurement bids, consuming luxury goods, and leaving the country. See, that is exactly what we have been saying what it is, and they're confirming it, but it's not all bad. I mean, this is just not bad. I mean, it's not what we've said. It's just what we've said.
Yeah, and it's also not true that this all only involves companies. They do this for individual people, and if you do the wrong thing, then you are not allowed to use public transportation or even travel between states inside China.
Correct. Yes. I mean, they are limiting travel. They are limiting priority resources. They are saying if your social credit score gets low enough, your children will not go to college. I don't know. That might encourage me to become a Chinese redneck, whatever that might look like. But which, by the way, do you guys know that in China right now, a big trendy thing on like TikTok and Instagram and stuff in China is for them to start dressing like farmers, like a Midwest American farmers. So the Chinese are actually becoming rednecks over there.
Get the overalls and the string of hay or whatever.
Yep.
Pitchfork.
Man.
The government published a comprehensive list detailing the permissible punishment last year. Some measures are more controversial. For example, individuals who failed to pay compensation decided by the court are restricted from traveling by plane or sending their children to costly private schools. See, this is exactly what we've been saying. This is crazy. Now, here's where all the gaslighting comes in. So is there a centralized social credit credit score computed for every Chinese citizen? No. Contrary to popular belief, there's no central credit score system. No, there is no central credit score system. But if you walk down the street and you're paying your bills, every billboard's going to be pointing to you with your photo saying, deadbeat, 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 deadbeat. You don't need a score when your automated systems are doing that. And that's what my point is. This is so bad.
You don't need a system when they can just arbitrarily just say your score ain't good enough. You can't do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also,
there is no table in place. It's just all hearsay or from the higher ups can tell you.
And here's the thing: there's no score in place. Like I could go in and say, "Well, what's my credit score?" And each of the companies could give me my credit score, and that number would be used as a pass/fail on several different things. You could say, "What is it that caused me to get this?" Well, China's not necessarily doing a score, so technically, this left-wing liberal rag is right, but it doesn't matter if you're doing a score. If you have any of these punishable items, you're immediately cast out.
The article
That's worse than a score.
The article does not mention any repeal type process built into this either.
Oh, give us a kidney. We'll think about. We'll bump you up in the list, which is literally a thing.
And also, if we take his word that there is no central credit score system, That's not the issue. There is a credit score system, and maybe it's deregulated that each local community have its own credit score system, an isolated credit score system. But still, it is a social credit score system.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2016 rule has been overhauled. The city decided that spreading harmful information on WeChat forums and blogs means subtracting 50 points, while winning a national level sport or cultural competition means adding 40. So if you're a good athlete, you can post more bad things. This is one city which did actually have a scoring system. One extreme case, the resident lost 950 points over the span of 3 weeks for repeatedly distributing letters online about a medical dispute. Such scoring systems had very little impact in China since they've never been elevated to a provincial or national levels. And that's the piece of misinformation in here is that, they're saying, well, it's got to be all centralized. No, it doesn't have to be centralized because in China, you're not allowed to move from state to state very easily. Of course, it's handled on the local level. And so there actually was a reference here about, increasing your score over, giving blood. So if you give up your body fluids and organs to notable charitable causes, you'll get better scores. I'll keep my kidney, thank you. Just so you know.
My social score is in the tank, Hank. Can you take a kidney and beef it up some?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Give us your heart, and we'll give you the highest level.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is there any advanced technologies like artificial intelligence involved in the system? For the most part, no. Just ByteDance hasn't yet gotten us the latest models from the TikTok data yet.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, every American citizen would completely fail the Chinese social credit score system. Have you seen TikTok? People seem to have lost their mind already. So that's basically in a nutshell what they're talking about.
And I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, they're not. Yeah, sure, there's no centralized number like you have a 352 on your social credit score. The article's right about that, but it's wrong about the fact that there is a carrot and stick model which utilizes your social behaviors. This is a seriously problematic thing, and the biggest reality is that all of this is put together using data collected by a variety of different big companies. And that really is the biggest factor here, is that it's relying on the big companies to decide what is good behavior, what is bad behavior, based on, utilizing AI and cameras. There was a, I think it was on Twitter, actually. I think this was actually a pre-Musk Twitter. An astronomer got his post taken down from Twitter for having illicit pornographic content. He caught a shooting star. He uploaded a video of a shooting star. And he couldn't get them to moderate. He appeals it like, I'm sorry, it's violated our terms. Oh, wait, how? It's a shooting star.
Yeah, you shouldn't shoot stars. So.
He wasn't, no one was over there shooting putty at the moon. It was just a shooting star.
It says in the article, it may be in the one of the sections that you skipped over, that the guidance asks local government to only punish behavior that's illegal, and that's not comforting. Knowing there is a whole lot of things that are illegal in China that is legal in the rest of the world.
It is illegal in the state of China to preach to you the true gospel of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Which, as a Christian, if that becomes illegal in the United States, send me to prison. I guess God means I'm going to have a prison ministry because I'm going to preach the gospel. All right. Let's go ahead and have a look at some comments here. What are we at? Where it says, looks like the refrigerator's telling me we're at 12.7. We're at 12.6. So, all right, we can do a few more comments before we wrap up here. Hello, Frost Ranger. California, Berkeley over MIT any day. Yeah, Berkeley's a little crazier. I don't have a news feed list from them there. That's what taxes are, a carrot and a stick. Isn't state-sanctioned moral values an oxymoron? Yes. These Chinese people are starting to fight back. Yeah, they're moving tanks into place, though, so very interesting. Yes, Christy McVie has died. Is it McVie or McVie? So everyone go play like Rattlesnake Shake or something to celebrate. I don't know. Either this person is trying to shill for the CCP, or they genuinely oblivious to how bad the policy is. I'm going with, as I said, the name of the author tells it all. Xian Yang. I'm pretty sure that's a member of the CCP. That's my opinion. Who knows? McVie actually was the Fleetwood Mac writer, singer, theme innovator. She will be missed, indeed. My financial credit score is flawless. Being a rebel would flip me my social score. There you go. Financial credit score vacated the system back in the 70s, right? Growing up, we always just paid cash and banks hated us. I know, right?
Yeah.
Down with the Free West, going to the gold standard. Yep. Gold standard lost all the value when the national debt was used. Yep. Deepin and Ubuntu. Come on, YouTube, fix your comment section. Deepin and Ubuntu Kylin are supposed to share their source code. I suppose they do, but you have to understand the tech language in Mandarin. Yeah. WeChat, man. Do you already have a score if you use TikTok? I don't know. Well, in China, TikTok is a different app. It just has a Chinese name, and they push rigorous time limits, and they push people towards scientific topics and other educational topics. Here in America, they push the most degenerate stuff to the point where they're actually starting to push like suicide challenges on people. It's crazy. And then people are taking it to court saying, hey, why are you not doing this? They're like, oh, Section 230. No, that's not an application of Section 230. Section 230 breaks down when people actually start dying. Let's see. Worst part about it is your score could be tanked because your family member decides to do something. Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Joseph Norris. Greetings. Missed the show again. No, we're still here. It's Brandon's fault. Yeah. I think the 6.0 and above kernel, new Proton, and new AMD graphics drivers will fix more gaming issues. Probably. I mean, every time, Linux is making a lot of heavy strides towards gaming. So,
well, I got a new game that came out. It was the Plague Tale Requiem game that was released a month or two ago. You do need to move up to Proton Experimental or the latest Glorious Egg Roll Proton to use it. And if you're on an NVIDIA card, you need the NVIDIA 520 driver, the latest one, or else the game will not run.
Yep. Let's see. Of course, they glorify. We're moving over to Odyssey comments now. Everything glorify China because they wanted to bring it to the West. Yeah. Agreed. The extreme left does that. Left way, living under communism, being tracked and traced no matter what we do. I'm going to pause there. We got a super chat up there. Lake Long. 100 NOK. Thank you for the super chat. EU is banning Twitter. They say it's hate speech, but Musk's solar technology is a competitor to their Green New Deal. They can't admit it. The electric cars mandate. It'd be funny if Elon Musk just pulls all the green energy resources out of EU. And I don't think EU is banning Twitter. I think if I understand what you're saying, EU said to Twitter that they have to allow an independent audit to check for hate speech based on a law that actually Elon Musk has come out and said, yeah, I think that this law is okay. And I don't know all the details beyond that, but I don't know if it's banning it altogether, but they warned that Twitter has to be open to European regulation. So the question is Musk going to allow that European regulation or not? So we'll see what happens with that, but absolutely. Thank you for the super chat again. At least the Chinese population is starting to fight back. You will own everything and be happy. Yeah, hey, that's what I'm on. Insanity of the left. They want the government to be the voice, the boss, and direct what to think, believe, and do. Absolutely. Okay, got it for limited government. Gives a hands up. Let's see. Justin Castro is defending the Chinese people protesting, but here in Canada, he brings in military police. You know, Justin Trudeau tried to bring a tank into the trucker protest.
Oh man.
Yeah,
that's sick.
They actually said, like, how many tanks you want? He's like, I think one will do. They were going to bring a tank in. I would have loved to see that. Let's see that backtrack. Oh boy, some trucks are coming. We have a tank. Klaus Schwab is right in this regard. if materialism, if excess of consumption was to go away, I think that people would start to focus on what matters. It's living in the pods and eating the bugs is what I have a problem with. Well, you have to live in the pods. You have to eat the bugs because you are the pleb. I don't want to live in a pod down by the virtual river. I am living in a mobile pod, but I've chosen to be here. And other than the dead tarantulas I'm finding on the road, I'm not seeing a lot else. Except Master Slave, they want you to say, enjoy their lives. This prize here, hope it gets voted out. Made it. Greeting is the alternative. Pretty much the whole green energy deal is just a psyop to make you think ramping down on energy if anything better than a holodometer or two. Yep. It's going to be a dark and cold winter this year. I absolutely know it.
Yeah.
Cash Clash just wants the Asians because there's more likely to obey. That's right. Engineer the perfect slave race by mixing all the races together. Yep. Who is pushing for the digital health passport? Yeah. Well, G20 actually kind of agreed on it in several countries, including the dementia patient in chief have signed on to it. Don't blame ya. Or I thought you said don't blame ye for thinking this way.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I'm trying to stay positive when so many people can't see the reality of what it scares me. I know, right? I don't pay health insurance. I pay my doctor out of pocket each year for checkup and blood work to make sure I'm healthy so they can shove the passport up their bleepies. That's right. But you won't be able to travel. That's fine. Yep. Shoot all the cis. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't have a regular passport. Since I have no say in my health care now, I will donate my organs when my toe tag number gets picked. There you go. They might just kill you early and take your organs. That's right. I mean, I agree with the old George Carlin skit. I'm not going to sign up for the organ donor passport, man. That dude shows up in the ambulance. He's not looking to save me. He's looking for parts.
Yeah.
There's got to be some leftist we can save with my perfectly good kidneys. I don't have a passport either, but I think it's time to get one. The globalist reach is total at this point. Yeah. I spent the rest of my time damaging my organs. There you go. See, you're making a good argument for smoking and drinking and drug use here. I'm going to damage the organs so you won't want to take them. More motivation to save me in the wreck, you know. Decade at a time predicting the woke agenda. It's called the Two Ronies. Huh, interesting. U.S. is the only country keeping the world free right now. If America falls, the world falls. Unfortunately, I agree, but it looks like we're starting to fall. Yeah. Are you not reading D-Live comments anymore? Oh, yes. I'm just not there yet. I'm doing them in order on my browser. YouTube, Odyssey, Rumble, Twitch, D-Live. Yes, Vampire Frog. If you are leaving comments on D-Live, I will get to them. We are on Odyssey now. I think all have the same point, but I've just said you want to keep the faith and pray. There you go. He's not watching D-Live enough for people over there. No, it's up. I'm monitoring it. It's just I have one browser with 6 tabs open. So, D-Live banned some of their biggest streamers like Salty Cracker, who is pushing their platform hard. Oh yeah. D-Live is kind of a little bit mad, in all honesty. But that's okay. Nobody chatting over on Rumble. Lots of people watch over there. Just nobody chats. It's not a real chat place on it. We have news. Shield mode shortcut is enabled on Twitch. Thank you. Diemaster, greetings. I did reply to you today, Diemaster, on your Patreon comment. I watch this on YouTube with the sound off and just here for the chat. Wonder if Drapsnot is another Norwegian. Interesting username. Very good.
Yeah, the username is it's 2 Norwegian words, and it's a Norwegian word, and it translates to murder night.
Yep. All right. Now we're on to D-Live. Vampire Frog's chatty over there. Greetings, Vampire Frog. Got a rock port that I'm using with 2 terabyte NVIDIA SSD and a 10-watt cloud server. Very good. 6 cores, 4 gigs of RAM, ARM Debian. Also, some older controversial accounts like Vince James got unbanned on D-Live recently. I know they at one point in time demonetized anything that talked anything political, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure if they're doing that. Same here as a Twitter amnesty. Working on a chat system that supports DLive, Odyssey, YouTube, etc. Send you a link. Ooh, yeah. Let me know. That'd be interesting. It'd be cool if I could. I know it's possible to grab the APIs and build something to unify comments. Matt Christensen's show has one such system now, but
yeah, that would be nice to have a dashboard or a common interface that aggregates all the chat in a single window. That would be nice.
I'll have to look into that. All right, let's wrap up on YouTube comments, and then we'll probably end up here. We are at the 7:45 mark, and I want to jump off because our power is getting low. Why back monarchies? I'm hoping and praying people of China manage to gain democracy. That would be pretty cool. I think he is starting to move in a few little, big, heavy armored vehicles with big guns mounted on them now. So we'll see what happens over there. National Monetary Fund Banking wrote on their blog about the need to incorporate the internet history into financial credit scores. No, thank you. Everyone leave a like on whatever stream platform you are using. Very good. Thank you. Guys, sorry I cannot stay long enough to enjoy yourselves. Gonna watch the Bills game, grab a beer, and order some buffalo wings. Well, you enjoy those buffalo wings. That sounds awesome. I'm not into beer, but have a fun time at the game, man. Beseech you, therefore, my brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. Thank you for the Bible reading in there. Good time to point out, I am bringing back today, now that all those books are done, we have the new Christian video is going on tonight, premiering at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we are returning to our prophets study. Copy link address. We'll go ahead and post that in all different places. It's going over there. After our crazy go figure. After our crazy rant about how bad BitChute was the other day, they finally emailed me today and said that they'll have the Christian account fixed soon. So that's good. So this will be cross-posted over to Rumble, Odyssey, and I hope BitChute probably later on this evening. Of course, I'm not logged into DLive for some reason, so I can't post it over there. But if you guys want to have a look over at Our Walk in Christ, this is the Assault on Our Faith, and we're trying to do something a little bit different with the streams over there, or the videos over there. I'm trying to bring in a lot of modern relevant things to make the illustrative point in the Old Testament passages. So this is the first 9 chapters of the book of Zephaniah, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you want to catch that particular show. And if I get the chance, I will be over there monitoring comments. I will try to be, but we'll see if I can make it or not. And that's a little over an hour from now. All right, any final words, everybody? Such as tell me where we can find you if you are available online.
Yeah,
Dan, final words.
I have a website, solbu.net, and it's where I am. And I also use the nickname Solbu on IRC. SOLBU. Solbu.net, you said? Yes. All right. Ivan, you have a YouTube channel going on. What's your channel, and what do you do over there?
It's The Anchorage. You pronounce it The Anchorage, but it's TEH. And I just do DIY type stuff and some stuff on Linux.
Cool. Very good. Yeah, drop that in the
for those who didn't catch it, the name of the channel is a typo. It's a deliberate typo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's on purpose.
Yes. So The Anchorage is not spelled as you might imagine. So if you want to drop a link to it in there. Dan, how's it going? Final words?
Always remember, the carrot can become the stick.
That's right. I mean, you get a big enough carrot, man. Those things hurt. All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. If you are a supporter on any of the platforms, the link's in there. We're going to hang out offline here for a little bit. I just need to switch computers to something that's a little bit lower power. So if you're a little camera shy, but you are able, you can feel free to jump on that link. We will be on there hanging out for a little bit after the show. And with that, though, guys, thanks for watching. Tomorrow, weekly news roundup, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Catch you later.